In Arabic, the word mirage not only refers to an optical illusion in the desert, but also evokes deep concepts of disintegration and growth. In the context of Islam, this term takes on a spiritual dimension by referring to a transcendental event in the life of the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. This event is known as the Isra and Mirage, a night journey and celestial ascension that marked a milestone in Islamic history. The Isra refers to the night journey from Mecca to Jerusalem, while the Mirage describes the ascension to the heavens. During this miraculous experience, the Prophet was taken by the Angel Gabriel through the 7 heavens, meeting previous prophets and finally being welcomed into the presence of Allah. This event, laden with mystical and spiritual meanings, took place approximately a year or 17 months before the Hijra, on the night of the 27th of the month of Rajab. The Isra and Mirage not only reaffirms Muslims' faith in miracles, but also underscores the importance of prayer and closeness to Allah. It is said that during this journey, Allah established the 5 daily prayers, a fundamental pillar of Islam. This event continues to be remembered and celebrated by Muslims worldwide, serving as a constant reminder of the divine connection between Allah and humanity. In the first phase of the Isra and Mirage, the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, was transported from the Sacred Mosque in Mecca to the Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem. This phase, known as Isra, meaning night journey, is mentioned in the Quran in Surah Al-Isra 17:1. During this extraordinary journey, the Prophet was accompanied by the Angel Gabriel. At each stop of the journey, he prayed alongside the prophets who had preceded him, thus reaffirming the continuity and unity of the divine message throughout history. The second phase, known as Mirage, describes the celestial ascension of the Prophet Muhammad from the Al-Aqsa Mosque to the presence of Allah. Although this part of the event is not directly mentioned in the Quran, many hadiths detail the Mirage, narrating how the Prophet traversed the 7 heavens. During this ascent, he encountered various prophets, such as Adam, Jesus, Moses, and Abraham, as well as angels, each symbolizing a particular aspect of the divine message. This transcendental event not only reaffirmed Muhammad's prophetic mission, but also strengthened his spiritual leadership among Muslims. In the Mirage, the obligation of the 5 daily prayers, one of the 5 pillars of Islam, was established, marking the importance of daily connection with Allah through prayer. The celestial experience of Isra and Miraj is remembered and celebrated annually by Muslims, highlighting its spiritual significance and lasting impact on the Islamic faith. According to the hadiths, while the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, was sleeping near the Kaaba, in the Hatim enclosure, or at the house of his cousin, Hani bint Abi Talib, the angel Gabriel came to him. In a miraculous act, Gabriel opened his chest, washed his heart with the pure water from the Zamzam well, and filled it with faith and wisdom. This symbolic act prepared the Prophet for the extraordinary journey that was to come, purifying his heart and strengthening his spirit for the divine mission that awaited him. Then Muhammad was mounted on a celestial being called Buraq, a white animal, smaller than a horse but larger than a donkey, known for its extraordinary speed. Buraq carried the Prophet in the blink of an eye to the Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem. This phase of the journey is known as Isra, meaning night journey, and is mentioned in the Quran in Surah Al-Isra 17:1. At the Al-Aqsa Mosque, the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, was greeted by a celestial assembly of prophets, including Abraham, Moses, Jesus, and others. In a significant and symbolic act, the Prophet Muhammad led the other prophets in prayer, demonstrating his central and culminating role in the line of Allah's messengers. This gathering not only underscores the continuity of the divine message across generations, but also reaffirms Muhammad's position as the seal of the prophets. Accompanied by the angel Gabriel, Muhammad began his ascension to heaven from the Al-Aqsa Mosque in an event known as Miraj. Although this part of the event is not directly mentioned in the Quran, numerous hadiths detail the Miraj with a wealth of descriptions, They recount how the prophet traversed the 7 heavens, meeting various prophets and angels at each level. During his celestial ascent in the Mirage, the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, encountered various prophets in each of the 7 heavens. In the first heaven, he was received by Adam, the father of humanity. In the second heaven, he met Jesus and his cousin John the Baptist, who welcomed him warmly. In the third heaven, he was greeted by Joseph, known for his beauty and wisdom. In the fourth heaven, he met Idris, a prophet known for his devotion and knowledge. Continuing his ascent in the fifth heaven, Muhammad met Aaron, the brother of Moses, and in the sixth heaven, he encountered Moses, who wept upon learning that Muhammad's ummah community would surpass his in number. Finally, in the seventh heaven, he met Abraham, who was leaning against the celestial Kaaba, Beit al-Mamur. Each encounter reaffirmed Muhammad's prophetic mission and highlighted the continuity and coherence of the divine message throughout history. The ascension continued to the Sidrat al-Muntaha, a majestic tree marking the boundary beyond which no creature can pass. Here, the angel Gabriel stopped, saying he could not go further, as he would be burned if he tried. However, the Prophet Muhammad continued his ascent alone to a place called Rafraf, a mount of celestial splendor. During this supreme journey, Muhammad had visions of paradise and its delights, describing lush gardens, rivers of milk and honey, and the rewards awaiting the righteous. He also saw hell and its torments, providing vivid descriptions of the punishments endured by the wicked and sinners. These visions reinforced the urgency of his message and the importance of following the straight path. Finally, the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, was admitted into the presence of Allah, a supreme honor reserved only for him. In this sacred moment, Allah informed him that those in his community who associate nothing with Allah will enter paradise. This message underscored the importance of the purity of monotheism in Islam and the promise of salvation for true believers. On this momentous occasion, the last verses of Surah Al-Baqarah, Chapter 2, verses 285 to 286, were revealed to Muhammad. These verses highlight faith in Allah, His angels, His books, and His messengers, and contain a supplication for divine forgiveness and mercy. These verses are frequently recited by Muslims due to their profound spiritual significance and powerful message of faith and reliance on Allah's mercy. Additionally, during this encounter, the prescription of the 5 daily prayers, known as Salat, was established. Initially, 50 daily prayers were ordained, but after several requests from the Prophet Muhammad and his dialogue with Moses, Allah, in His infinite mercy, reduced the number to 5 while maintaining the reward of 50. This reduction not only showed divine compassion, but also underscored the fundamental importance of prayer in the daily life of a Muslim. The establishment of the 5 daily prayers is one of the fundamental pillars of Islam and serves as a constant reminder of the believer's connection with Allah. These prayers structure a Muslim's life, providing regular moments for reflection, gratitude, and seeking divine guidance. After his encounter with Allah and the revelation of the last verses of Surah Al-Baqarah, the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, returned to the Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem and was subsequently taken back to Mecca. The next day, with a renewed spirit and unshakable faith, the Prophet recounted the event of Isra and Miraj to his community. Upon hearing this extraordinary narration, the pagans of Mecca launched a fierce campaign of defamation and mockery against him. They ridiculed the story of the night journey and celestial ascension, seeking to discredit his experience and sow doubt among his followers. They used this opportunity to intensify their opposition to the message of Islam, trying to undermine the credibility of the Prophet and his divine mission. This defamation campaign not only affected the unbelievers, but also plunged some Muslims into a state of uncertainty and questioning. Doubts began to arise among those whose faith was not fully consolidated, and the Muslim community faced a moment of trial and challenge. However, this episode also strengthened many others in their faith. especially those who fully trusted in the truthfulness and sincerity of the Prophet Muhammad. Those who wanted to verify the truth of the Isra and Miraj story posed detailed questions about Beit al-Maqdis, the Al-Aqsa Mosque, and about a caravan arriving in Mecca, thus putting the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, to the test. They sought any sign of error to discredit his account. With his precise knowledge and divine revelations, the Prophet answered all the questions with astonishing accuracy. He described Beit al-Maqdis in detail, mentioning specific features of the mosque and its surroundings that only someone who had been there could know. Moreover, he provided exact information about the caravan he had seen during his journey, including details about the camels and the cargo they were carrying, as well as the timing of their arrival in Mecca. This precision in his answers left many present speechless and freed sincere Muslims from doubts, reaffirming their faith and trust in him. However, despite the clarity and truthfulness of his answers, these were not enough to break the stubbornness and skepticism of the pagans. They persisted in their denial, blinded by their obstinacy and rejection of the message of Islam. The campaign of mockery and defamation continued, but did not diminish the conviction of those who truly believed in the Prophet and his message. This episode underscored the importance of faith and trust in divine revelations, even when facing difficult trials and external skepticism. For sincere Muslims, the Prophet's responses not only dispelled their doubts, but also strengthened their commitment to Islam and their loyalty to Muhammad. The event of Isra and Miraj, often referred to as a mirage by skeptics, became a source of temptation and increased the animosity of the pagans toward the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. This miraculous event, known as the Mirage, caused great controversy and became a point of attack for those who sought to discredit the Prophet and his message. In the midst of this turbulence, Abu Bakr, the faithful and close companion of the Prophet, was honored with the nickname as Siddiq, the truthful, due to his firm belief in the truth of the event. When asked if he still believed in the story, Abu Bakr responded with conviction and without hesitation. If he says it, then it is certainly true. This statement of faith and loyalty not only reflected his unwavering trust in the Prophet, but also inspired and strengthened the faith of Muslims. Abu Bakr's unwavering support at this critical moment had a profound effect on the Muslim community. His steadfastness and unwavering faith consolidated loyalty towards the Prophet Muhammad and helped dispel doubts among believers. The figure of Abu Bakr became a pillar of support and a model of faith for other Muslims, showing that true faith does not waver in the face of trials and adversity. The controversy surrounding Isra and Miraj, though exploited by the pagans to sow doubt and division, ended up strengthening the Muslim community. The faith of the believers was reinforced, and their commitment to Islam deepened. This event highlights the importance of faith, trust in the Prophet's leadership, and the unity of the community in the face of opposition and disbelief. Although the account of the Miraj is based on unique hadiths, all Muslims united around the reality of the event, recognizing its spiritual significance and its impact on Islamic faith. However, the exact manner in which the event took place has been a source of divergence among Muslim scholars. This divergence reflects the richness and depth of Islamic thought, as well as the complexity of the event itself. Some scholars, including Ibn Abbas, maintain that the event occurred in a dream. According to this interpretation, the Miraj was a deeply significant spiritual vision, but not a physical journey. This perspective considers the dream as a valid means to receive revelations and spiritual experiences, emphasizing the soul's ability to transcend physical limits during the state of sleep. Nevertheless, most scholars support the view that the Miraj occurred while the Prophet was awake, reinforcing the miraculous nature of the event. This group of scholars argues that the experience was not only spiritual but also physical, highlighting Allah's power to perform miracles that transcend natural laws. Within this group, there is an additional division on the question of whether the Miraj involved only the mind or both the mind and body. Most theologians hold that the Mirage occurred while the Prophet was awake, involving both mind and body. This opinion underscores the totality of the Prophet's experience, indicating that his physical body also participated in the celestial journey, adding an extra dimension of wonder to the event. The night of Miraj is considered by Muslims to be the second most sacred night after the Night of Destiny, Laylat al-Qadr. This miraculous event holds a special place in the heart of the Islamic community, being a moment of deep reflection and spiritual devotion. Its commemoration through prayer and other devotional practices became a significant tradition under the Ottoman Empire. During this sacred night, mosques were adorned with lamps and lights, creating an atmosphere of reverence and celebration. This custom gave rise to the name Night of Miraj poems, highlighting both the spiritual significance of the event and the beauty and light that symbolize the message of Islam. The illumination of the mosque symbolizes divine guidance and the spiritual enlightenment that the Isra and Miraj represent for believers. The celebration of this night not only emphasizes the transcendence of the Prophet Muhammad's celestial journey, but also serves as an opportunity for Muslims to strengthen their faith and connection with Allah. Special prayers, known as Salat al-Tasbih, and Quran recitations are common on this night, allowing the faithful to reflect on the deep meaning of Isra and Miraj and renew their commitment to the principles of Islam. In addition to religious practices, the Night of Miraj poems celebrates the cultural and literary heritage of the Islamic world. Poems and chants narrating the Prophet's celestial journey and his encounter with previous prophets are recited, filling the air with words of faith, hope, and devotion. These activities not only enrich the spiritual experience, but also strengthen community ties and the cultural identity of Muslims. The day following the miraculous night of Miraj, known as Mira, the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, recounted the event to his community. In mosques, tea and milk were offered to the listeners, establishing a tradition of hospitality and community. This practice not only helped to remember the sacred event, but also strengthened bonds among believers, fostering a sense of unity and brotherhood among Muslims. The narrative of the Miraj not only served to strengthen the faith of believers, but also underscored the authenticity of the Prophet Muhammad's message and his direct connection with Allah. This miraculous event, with its details about the night journey and celestial ascension, continues to be a source of inspiration and spiritual reflection for Muslims around the world. The celebration of Miraj emphasizes the importance of devotion, faith, and the constant quest for truth in the divine guidance of Allah. On this sacred night, Muslims remember Allah's infinite mercy and wisdom, reaffirming their belief in miracles and the guidance provided through the Prophet Muhammad. Special prayers and Quran recitations during this night allow believers to deepen their spiritual connection and renew their commitment to the principles of Islam. In addition to the religious aspects, the tradition of offering tea and milk in mosques during the narration of Miraj underscores the Islamic values of generosity and hospitality. This custom reinforces social cohesion and a sense of community, creating an atmosphere of mutual support and solidarity among Muslims. The event of Isra and Miraj continues to be celebrated with fervor and devotion, reminding believers of the importance of faith and perseverance. Through the narrative of Miraj, Muslims find inspiration to face life's challenges with confidence in Allah's guidance and a renewed commitment to their faith. The celebration of this sacred night reaffirms the centrality of devotion and the quest for truth in Islam, illuminating the believer's path with the light of divine wisdom.